What's going on, guys? Patch here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be looking at the massive move that should be coming in for Bitcoin very soon. Are we going to break to the upside, or will we come down and potentially fill our lower CME futures gap? We're also going to be talking about altcoins as well as tons of other news that went on in the cryptocurrency space. But guys, before we get started with that, I've been texting with a ton of you guys. I told you guys in the last video I got a number where we are able to communicate in text, and we've been talking about crypto, about trading, about business in general, how I've built multiple businesses, just hanging out and communicating with a bunch of you guys, which has been absolutely insane. So if you guys want to text me, if you guys want to have that conversation, we can talk about whatever it is you guys want. The number is 917-634-3258. I'm going to put it up over there, 917-634-3258, where you guys are going to text me directly and we can just talk and hang out and talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. So without further ado, let's go into the actual video and what it is that Bitcoin is looking like. You'll notice first things first, and I want to highlight this one, that volume has been on the decline for some time. And although you guys have seen me draw this before like this, I've adjusted a little bit. I've mentioned in the last video that we could have it this and this because both of them were acting as support. I did want to adjust it a little bit so that way we can see this triangle that Bitcoin has been trading in. But with this low volume, with a lot of people speculate different reasons, Chinese holiday is one, the fact that we just obviously came out of the weekend is another one. All of these factors contributing to our relatively low volume. But low volume, good news is low volume usually indicates that Bitcoin is preparing for a big move, and that could be either to the upside or to the downside. That's what I want to focus on today. So starting off with a daily time frame, Bitcoin currently, the EMA ribbon hasn't given us much on a daily time frame. It's been weeks at this point where we've had this very tight EMA ribbon, and it's acted as resistance multiple times before. So the first one up here where we had that fake breakout, then obviously bounced off of the resistance, a lot of resistance at this level, $11,100, and even this newer resistance that I drew for you guys in the triangle. All of those they did reject us down, broke back down below, then found support. And then now over here we had the resistance with a few wicks touching up over to this level, but majority of the candles closing at the EMA ribbon, showing us again it is acting as resistance. And now once again we are coming to that EMA ribbon, which we want to test. Now keep in mind this breakout pattern, what we want to see in order for a confirmed breakout is that volume. That volume needs to come in if we're going to have a break to either direction. But until we have that volume, then we cannot be certain, and it cannot be a confirmed break, because we've seen multiple times before where Bitcoin might fake down, it's breaking here, right? The candles look like it's breaking, the volume doesn't come in, and then it just goes like this, right? And a lot of people enter shorts here. They entered before they saw the actual volume come in, they enter, and then they all get wiped out while Bitcoin reverses and shoots to the upside. So watch out for the volume. It's going to be key. But even just with this pattern ending at around the 14th, so midway through October, that's going to be when this pattern ends. And we expect Bitcoin to have a breakout before this pattern does see any form of closure. Usually we see it happen towards the end of the pattern. We are basically at that point where any moment now we can see Bitcoin break either to the upside or to the downside. Now, if we have that break to the upside, I want to give you guys the different scenarios and what the targets are for me. Break to the upside, obviously, we're going to meet the $11,100 resistance. It's going to be a strong resistance. It has been resistance previously, so we want to keep an eye out on how Bitcoin reacts to that. But breaking above that, if we do actually have that break above, which if we do break above this pattern with volume, then we can expect to break above this as well. Next big target, $12,100 is going to be the level we want to watch out for. That way we can catch a long position that if we go all the way up, we enter at the right spot. Let's say we enter here and we ride it up. That's that's almost a 10% move, which if you have 10x leverage, that's a 100% profit trade, which means you doubled your money. Not bad whatsoever. And if we break to the downside, we talked about the EMA, the CME futures gap multiple times before. There's the famous one that needs to be filled, or not needs to, but could be filled at $9,665, I believe it was. It's been a while, so I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's it. And the purpose of that is if we break below here, then I expect Bitcoin to go down and fill that gap at right around that level, which should be somewhere around over here. Obviously, we are on the BitMEX chart right now. It's only going to show up in the CME futures chart, which we're going to look at in just a second. But that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. Obviously, in the immediate short term, we're going to zoom in and look at what we expect Bitcoin to do. But you'll notice once we open the CME futures gap, it'll give us a little bit of a clear idea of if we are going to fill another gap, which we actually saw come in, and we're going to show that in just a second. But 4 hour is breaking above the EMA ribbon. Now notice, first the last, I'd say since here, we've had a lot smaller, maybe even you want to count it here, we've had a lot smaller patterns. While usually when Bitcoin breaks above or below the 4 hour time frame EMA ribbon, usually we're in that pattern for a little bit longer. We have a longer period of time where we can catch multiple trades in there. But then we noticed a little bit of a shorter one, and then it got even shorter, and then we've just been at these very short length EMA ribbon periods. So now, even though this is short, right? I say it's short, but 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, 4 trades, maybe even 5, you can count that because they're retested, all which could have made you significant profit if you were able to capitalize on. I just wanted to highlight the fact that we are having a lot more flippings of the ribbons, and now we're seeing what might be a bullish flip over here on the 4 hour time frame. Again, all this could mean is that Bitcoin does have a little bit of time to catch up, to go to this resistance over here after bouncing off the support, and how it reacts from that is going to be the big indicator on if we are going to, be catching along, or if we are going to be catching a short. The 1 hour time frame flipped pretty recently, and again, multiple bounces over here, now bullish on the 1 hour time frame. But volume, like I mentioned before, is extremely low at these levels. Before we actually dive into the CME futures gap and look at altcoins and stuff like that, I do want to highlight 2 of the trades that I was in recently. One of them, you guys, I think I talked about this in the last video, was a short that we entered up here. Perfect timing for a short. Bitcoin came right down. It touched every single one of our targets. A very easy, very straightforward trade. And then after that trade was closed, we entered a long position over here to catch the next move bouncing off of the support. We obviously saw a little bit of a rejection. The volume didn't come in for us to expect a break to the downside, right? So then once we saw that bounce, we entered here at a confirmed level, expecting some sideways action with Bitcoin eventually holding the support and breaking above the EMA ribbon. That's exactly what we saw happen. A little bit, an extra few bounces here or there of the support, but overall sideways to the EMA ribbon, and then boom, broke above it, and we already hit some targets on that trade. So that was those were 2 extremely easy, extremely profitable, but overall very straightforward setup. So if you guys feel like you're missing out and you want to take advantage of these type of trades and take advantage of everything this market has to offer, make sure you check out the first link down below in the description for the cryptocurrency trailer group. I post every single one of the trades that myself and my expert team are entering in real time in this group. So if you're a complete beginner, if you don't have time to do technical analysis, or if you simply don't know how to do technical analysis, you can copy our exact trades. You can just check out every single one of our altcoin trades, every single one of our leverage trades. You'll get access to the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space, but most importantly, for 2 weeks, you get to test everything out completely for free, completely risk-free. So we're not gonna hide anything from you. We're gonna reveal the curtain. You'll see everything we have, every trade that we have for 2 full weeks. And if you don't like it, it doesn't work for you, whatever it is, no questions asked, you can simply cancel and you'll avoid getting charged. So we're breaking down all the barriers to entry, and a bunch of you guys were in those trades that I just talked about. And if you weren't in those and you wanna be in the future ones, I look forward to seeing you in there. But let's go into the CME futures gap really quick, because we actually had on the 4 hour time frame a new gap form. Now this gap would be filled at around $10,620. We're currently at $10,795. So we want to see it happen if this is going to get filled, which it might. Now we talked about the flip on the 4 hour time frame of the EMA ribbon. It hasn't flipped yet, but the break, Bitcoin, the candles right now, the price is broken above the EMA ribbon. So the flip is all we're waiting for that confirmed pattern, and for us to be officially bullish, a bullish trend on the 4 hour time frame. But wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if either we bounce up, we reject, and then come back down and do something like this while Bitcoin trades a little sideways, or even just a wick down relatively quickly while we move up. These small gaps on these 4 hour time frames, these are ones that even more likely we do see them get filled sooner rather than later. We see a gap that came in here, right? What happened? Instantly we filled that gap, and then we bounced, and then we had that huge sell-off come in. So a lot of the times these gaps do get filled, and we want to keep an eye out on not just this gap, but then we have that $9,665 gap as well, which is one that's at this point famous because everybody's been looking at it. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen. Everybody's eyeing that as a perfect opportunity for a long. And the more Bitcoin trades sideways right now, and the more we have low volume and Bitcoin continues to trade sideways in these patterns that we talked about, the bigger chance that the move that we have is going to be a relatively big move. And the longer we trade sideways, the bigger that moves usually ends up being. The longer we trade sideways with decreasing volume, the bigger we actually see those moves actually turn out. So keep an eye out on this gap right now. That's what I'm going to be looking at as well in terms of determining our next few plays. I want to end this off talking about altcoins, because altcoins are actually reaching a pretty important level now. We're currently at this resistance, which we've touched multiple times before, and previously it acted as support. Now this is more of a range, that's why I drew it as a rectangle, but we broke above this resistance that we had previously as well. This was at around 109.5. Now this range anywhere from 141 down to like 130, but you'll notice Bitcoin multiple support levels when it was coming at this level, and we saw the Bitcoin actually trade within this level for some time. Very similar on the flip side. Now we actually are in here, and now we are trading within this range, waiting for a break to the upside. Now this is the market cap excluding Bitcoin, so this is only the altcoin market cap. And if we want to see altcoins continue to do well and continue to have those explosive moves that we've seen a lot of altcoins have, we would want to see a break to the upside for this market cap excluding Bitcoin. This is altcoin market cap, so we want to see altcoins go up, we want to see them do well, then we want to see the altcoin market cap break above this resistance and move into higher levels. And similar thing with the Bitcoin dominance. Right now that was excluding Bitcoin market cap. This is Bitcoin dominance. We've had this pattern for a very long time on the daily time frame below the EMA ribbon, just bouncing, decreasing Bitcoin dominance, meaning altcoins have had some time to breathe and have been able to do pretty well. Now we are looking with a narrower EMA ribbon, still a fake out to this point, still below the EMA ribbon right now. No flip has come in as of yet, but this is something to keep an eye out on as well in terms of determining where the Bitcoin to altcoin relation is going to be in the near future, and if we can expect altcoins to do well, or if we can expect them to cool off a little bit while Bitcoin does its thing and decides to, maybe have some bigger moves. So keep an eye on that. A lot to talk about, a lot to focus on in order to put ourselves in the best position possible. If you guys want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, what my analysis is, and what I'm sort of looking at in terms of the Bitcoin and the altcoin price analysis and how we can position ourselves to best profit from this overall market, then make sure you guys are subscribed with that notification bell turned on. And if you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure you leave a thumbs up and let me know down below what your thoughts on the Bitcoin price, and let's see who is correct. I always love reading you guys' comments, letting you guys letting me know what you think is going to happen, and then we can obviously go through them and see who is correct, what we can, what different people saw in the charts that maybe something I missed in my analysis. Let me know down below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys on Wednesday for another video.